snack or something. Go back and eat it later and get something.
On a wrongful death lawsuit, and then combine it with Kendrick's lengthy and extensive federal investigation, there were things that had to be done.
Greetings. State your name, please.
Bobby Worthy.
What organization?
I'm Bobby Worthy. I'm National President for the Justice League United. I'm the Minister of Law and Justice for the New Black Panther Party, and I'm also a national board member for the National Black Man's Movement, chaired by Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz.
You also came from Waycross, Georgia, right?
Yes, I did.
What interest do you have in the Kendrick Johnson case, this lawsuit that been, finalizing the allegations against the family?
Well, the thing is, I have interest against injustice. The Johnson family got to be the strongest family in this country. They will not stop and not charging for justice for their son that they know and all of them know was murdered. Now, what I witnessed in this courtroom today...
Yeah, that was my main question. Yes, sir.
What I witnessed in this courtroom was, first of all, a judge inattentive. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think the judge was fair. I think he was admirable. But the judge was inattentive when he went to sleep not once, not twice, but 3 times and one time at the end.
Is that why you tried to get my attention? I didn't have a camera because of the situation, well, I'll explain later. But you tried to get my attention to let me know that he was sleeping?
Yes, I did. And I also notified all the other news teams that were here. Did you see, and all of them say, yes, we saw it. Did you see the judge that he was asleep on the bench? And say, yes, we did. Whether they're going to air that or not, but we know the Ghetto Free Press going to air it.
My question to you is, do you think that was that done deliberately, so this afternoon it would not be a recording, a complete recording? We know we got a transcript, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, my thing is the judge limited. My opinion, I think the judge messed up when he limited, because he does have discretion in the law to allow recordings. But once he allowed one and don't allow the other, then he violates the freedom of the press. He violates the open meeting law. The judge, when I walked back in there, first thing he noticed was no media in there, and he said, well, we ain't gonna have no media in there. That's the first thing come out of his mouth.
Are you serious?
He said, well, no media came back, and he said, I told them that I would let one other come in if nobody will show up, another one come in. Nobody's here. Y'all would agree with no media? And that's what he said. That's when I came outside looking for you.
Go ahead.
I sent the media blast out to everybody when I found out about this. All the news media, CNN, everybody, every local news station that I know, radio, Valdosta Daily Times, all of them, but Valdosta Daily Times was too. But how can you, this is what I understand about the media. How can you come in here and view the beginning of the trial and not get the end? So you're going to go report an incomplete story, and probably not going to be reported half of it anyway. And just like I told her, I asked every media, ABC from Atlanta, I asked Channel 10 was here, and I even told you, George, the Ghetto Free Press. I said, did you see the judge sleep? Did you get it on that camera? She said, yes, I did. Whether she going to report that or not, that is very important. Very important. You cannot make a decision as a judge and you up there asleep.
Let me ask you a question. Just in case somebody else in the state of Georgia would like to call you for you to give more information about what you saw in this courtroom.
To reach me, call me at 912-424-0752. Again, that's 912-424-0752. Or hit my email, justiceleagueunited@yahoo.com. One word, justiceleagueunited@yahoo.com.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
My name is Reverend Larry D. O'Hara.
What's your position or what title you carry?
I'm the, well, I carry many titles, but as far as the NAACP, I'm the assistant president of the Waycross branch.
Are you a minister of the gospel?
Yes, I am.
All right, what do you think about what happened today?
Even the judge sitting up there asleep from time to time.
You saw him sleep too?
Yes, and when he wake up, then somebody holler an objection, and he don't know what the objection is. So then he turns around and asks, after the guy called the objection, you speak his piece, then he turned around and asked Mr. King, and Mr. King just blurted out. He just go ahead on and beat every avenue that they came across today, they got whooped.
Why do you think that there was no camera in the courtroom?
And the reason why they didn't want y'all in there with the camera, because every time they make a mistake, it's recorded on film, and they don't want to have to go back and use that. That is the same reason why, in the KJ case, why those films was tampered with, per se, because the evidence was already there. And they learned now that if it's on film, then they can use that film against them.
What's your name?
My name is Reverend Jeffrey Benoit. I'm the president of the Clayton Henry chapter of the National Action Network and a candidate for the 2016 State Representative, District 76, which covers the Connolly, Fairview, Stockbridge, Forest Park, Rex and Morrow, and Rex, Georgia.
Because you call it National Action Network. Who's the founder of that organization?
The founder is Reverend Al Sharpton, who founded the National Action Network in 1991, so this is our 25th year.
First, I want to ask Bobby, what did you say that you saw the judge doing in the courtroom today?
Sleeping.
What did you say you saw him doing?
Sleeping.
Did you see him?
Oh, he was not. He was not, and at least 3 times that counted.
I heard several other people, and I want to be on camera, that you all saw that. Now, how?
The judge has proven that that he really don't want the cameras in the court. I mean, and I understand why, because the last trial he went to sleep 4 or 5 times, and this time he went to sleep 4 times, nodded on the bench, was sleeping. So I mean, no one is saying about it. Even when the media was there the last time, you was the only one who reported that the judge was asleep. He actually went to sleep, and nobody seems to think that's not a problem.
Well, being a problem or not, it seems to me, because if I had reported, I would let the people know what happened and took place in the courtroom. But it seems that the local news media are not concerned about judges sleeping in the courtroom, or for that matter, even what's going on here today. Because, I mean, we had other things in the city that was going on, but this is a very high-profile local, state, and national case. And yet, when it comes down to our television station, regardless of whatever happened in Valdosta, they wasn't here.
Well,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all support. To me, it's all supported by white supremacy. It's getting to the point that whites seem to think that everything runs around them, and it's getting worse with the police brutality. We're technically moving to a dictatorship.
How you doing today?
Hey, how's it going now?
All righty. What's your name?
Bobby Worthy.
What's going on here today again, brother?
We're here today again to continue the Kendrick Johnson case, the attorney fees, outstanding attorney fees. I think the judge has been a little bit more better. He did go to sleep a few times, but at least this time he did some things that I think he was kind of fair today. I think he was way better than, a whole lot better than what he was doing.
It seems like he's dropping a lot of attorney fees, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're definitely not going to get what they thought they was.
Well, he did that this morning. Before you got here, he was doing it, and it seems as if, though, there's something strange in this case altogether. But it's very interesting. Things was kind of slow. But this morning, I didn't see him sleeping that much this morning. But Jackie said she got him, he was sleeping this morning as well. But this afternoon, he just couldn't keep his eyes open.
Yeah, but at least this time he stood up when he got tired. He allowed everybody else to stand up when they got tired.
So that let you know he was sleeping.
Yeah.
But don't you think that if he have some breaks, it would eliminate some of this? He don't have no breaks.
Yeah, I think it would be have a couple more breaks. I still think they're trying to kind of rush this to get it over with. Because I guess it's maybe boring to them, but it definitely ain't boring to the Johnson family to have to pay out some attorney fees. And notice that he did say, they don't say that I have to give attorney fees. They say I may give attorney fees. You know what I'm saying? That he did speak on that and everything. Only thing that I didn't allow is I see him still allowing the defense attorneys to do whatever they want in court. Like when the attorney was arguing back and forth, raising his voice at King, the judge should have stepped in and stopped that.
I see that a lot.
Yeah,
Why, you think they're too close, or maybe they're friends or something?
Maybe friends or something, but he should not allow that. He should intervene as the judge. Either he don't care, he was just tired, and didn't realize what was going on and attended to. And you know, but he should have immediately stopped there. Oh, wait a minute, you just answered the question. He did at one point say, all you do is just answer the question.
He said that to Attorney Talley, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
well, you gonna be back tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be right here.
Greetings. Today is another strange day in the courtroom here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, Georgia, in the KJ family paying possibly the attorney fees for dealing with the death of their son. To skip right along, I don't want to go into too much of what you already know, but today the court proceedings dealing with Judge Richard Porter, in my most humble opinion, took a turn for the worse. And I'm sorry that I should have to say this. I don't like saying this, but I'm going to say it. Shaveen King at one point paused, mentioned to the judge that he had a possible ailment starting Sunday, but he came to court anyway. And he mentioned to the judge that his wife is a physician and that whatever his problems are, I'm not even going to put it on here because I don't want to. But whatever condition he had, I guess his wife, they was trying to resolve it by taking medicine or pills. But he had a scheduled appointment for tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I think it was, and the judge pretty near told him that you could have told me about this earlier in the week. I had just heard Shaveen King state that he didn't know about whether he was going to do this or not. He stated it twice, but the judge came back and said it again. You should have told me earlier. Well, he went further to say, the judge said, I am willing to stay late this evening, and will you complete Attorney Edwards questioning. Shaveen King, in the final analysis, said, I'll do all I can, but if you know Shaveen, he don't get in a hurry because he want to represent his clients. And so, Shaveen King, once again, I think that he was very distraught. It hurt my heart to know that King was serious about whatever his conditions are. The judge even made a statement that he too have this same type of problem. But he said, but you should have taken care of it or let me know about it earlier. So the short form was, before we went to lunch, the judge was saying that he was not going to make any arrangements. And I watched Shaveen King stand in the courtroom, and he paused there. He didn't get rude with the judge, but it got pretty pointed. And so I didn't agree with ignoring a person with a medical condition like that, but be that as it may. Be that as it may. Bottom line is that I wish that more people from the city of Valdosta, I wish that the news media could have been here, the mainstream news media had been here. We was here Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. And it seemed as if though this segment or part of the KJ case is unimportant. It's like people in Valdosta do not want to know what is going on in acquiring these attorney fees and whether the family should pay them or not. But be that as it may, I want to thank God for Kendrick Johnson's parents and those surrounding him that are willing to come and sit in the courtroom, because it often looked like it's just about their son. But there are over 3,000 children attending Lowndes County High School, and this could happen to anybody. Now, if nothing comes out of all of this, I know that the family and the good citizens of Valdosta, the state of Georgia, and America can at least say, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Grandma English, Grandfather Eddie, for standing up. Because if you had not stood up, they wouldn't have known about a botched investigation, a botched crime scene, a botched system of acquiring records through the Open Records Act that was blocked. They wouldn't know how hard it is to go out and do an investigation. I walked with the investigators for the KJ family. I walked the streets here in Valdosta. And as a result, I am under a 3-year, 4-month criminal trespass for not violating the law. And so I too have learned something. I've learned how God will put you in the mix to ensure that you do not leave before or after 6. So I'm still in the mix. And regardless of what people say, I am determined to have some government agency or some law enforcement agency to remove me in writing from this illegal, unjustified, disgraceful criminal trespass here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America. I violated no law. I went to the sheriff's department. I talked to Sheriff Pride. I'm not going to tell you what he said because it's already on video. I went to the CID, the Criminal Investigative Department. They had nothing on me. The sheriff eventually, after I requested in writing, he don't have nothing on me. I wrote a letter to the school superintendent, West Taylor. They don't have anything on me, but yet they got me under criminal trespass, and I have the audio. I have several audio tapes, different ones. I even took audio statements from witnesses that witnessed them put me under it. But now they say they have nothing at all on me. So the question is, how in the state of Georgia can a human being be stopped, and banned from public property, and they violated no law. I told you all, you're losing your rights. You're losing them. But some of you don't seem to care, and some of you, thank God, gonna work it out, and you don't have to do nothing for yourself. Let me close out. When we came back after lunch, Judge Richard Porter said to Shaveen King, I have reconsidered, and I will not have court tomorrow. That was right after lunch. And I said to myself, I'm glad you redeemed yourself. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I was going to be pretty hard on this video, but I cut a little slack now, because this is what he should have done in the first place. Now, I'm not a judge, and it's amazing how these white lawyers seem to have superiority. They seem like they all are friends. They seem like they're in a clique and among the slicks. Now, I know I shouldn't say that. I don't feel comfortable in saying that. But they feel comfortable in showing that in the courtroom. Everybody is looking at these attorneys, looking at their friendship or relationship with the judge. Only God knows how this thing could turn out if there was a jury trial and the jury see this like brothers from the same lodge or brothers from the same church. It just don't look good in the eyes of the public. I've had people to come and tell me about it, but I'm telling you about it because you have a right to know. Now let me close. As I said, I went to the sheriff's department, I went to the criminal investigative department, I went to the probate judge, I went to Superior Court, District Attorney David Miller's office. I left there. Then I went to the federal courts, and they ran my name. They said, there's nothing on you. And at each level of law enforcement and government, you know what they said to me? How could they do that? Then, when I went to the Justice Department in Atlanta, and when I told them what Reverend Robinson said, that superintendent told him, and we got it recorded, we got him recorded, and it's already on YouTube, because we want you to know the truth, because you cannot become free until truth comes. And so what we did, I talked to somebody, Justice Department in Atlanta, and when they said they were working something on me, and that they found something in my record, and I told them there ain't a damn thing in my record but what they want to put in my record. Ain't no drugs in my car, but those that they may plant on me in the future. So I want y'all to get ready for that. So if something happened, you'll be ready to do what must be done to show the wickedness, of this democratic system here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America. But don't threaten and don't worry about what's happening, because in the end, truth, right, and justice will win. One more. I even went to the Department of Justice with this. Eric Holder of the Department of Justice. I have also gone to other areas. I'm getting ready to write the United Nations, because here I am. I violated no law, but I served this country for 21 years. So now, I'll leave you by saying this. Where's the news media? Why is it that when problems and situations arise in the black community, there's no news media? Why, wait a minute, I heard that. I heard you thinking. You thinking that I'm just acting. Well, I challenge you, without me going into detail, because I've already over-documented it. Lula Smart in Brooks County, one of the Quitman 10+2, had a 19-day court case dealing with voter rights and violating voting laws, which all 119 to 200 violations was dropped by the state of Georgia. Dropped. No news media was in the courtroom, not one day. No ABC, no CBS, no WALB. And then when the verdict came down from the jury, people was rejoicing outside of the courtroom, and they called the TV stations. Listen, they called the TV stations, and they did not come. I'm telling y'all, you can criticize me, but somebody got to do what the founding fathers of this republic said we should do, and that is Well, I'm gonna let Bobby Worthy tell you that because he'll tell you more better than I am. Bobby Worthy, this is the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You was here all 3 days. What happened in the courtroom, and what you think about the case? They stopped. They said it may not go back to November. So fill the people in, because it don't seem like the news media have done a very good job in covering this, from my point of view.
Well, as you said, we've been in court quite a while, since Monday, since the court started. I wasn't in the court today very long. I had another appointment. I came late. I just got informed what happened today from George's interview. To me, I think I'm really thinking the judge is really thinking about these absurd attorney fees, well out of bounds. We do know, and I'm not going to say because it hasn't been brought out in court yet, well, we do know one of the agencies have paid out some of the money, one of the local agency, government agency. I have that in writing, and I have presented it to the attorney that they paid some money out in debt, but not all completely. But like I said, they're not going to get the attorney fees out.
Don't bet on it. Don't bet on it.
Well, don't bet on it. Well, I mean, I'm assuming from what the judge said, if he's a man of his word.
I've seen him say one thing and do another, but go ahead with your story. Sorry to interrupt you, but the truth is the truth.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, they can say one thing and do another. But it does seem like, to me, that there is some kind of favoritism. And I like to say it like this: favoritism or racism. You be the judge. Favoritism because maybe the judge knows all these attorneys. He allowed, since I've been involved in this trial, I have noticed that the judge has allowed these 8 white attorneys to run the courtroom. I mean, actually run it. I see them swear themselves in.
Have you ever seen that done before?
I never in my life seen a witness swear himself in. They said because he's an officer of the court. That's bull, John. That's bull. I'm here to tell you that. Because the law is clear on this, and say any witness, before they can give testimony in the court of law, they must be sworn in. They give testimony. But I've never seen that before. A witness with an attitude at that swear himself in. And I'm gonna say it. Jim Elliott, the Lowndes County Sheriff Department's attorney, has been very rude, obnoxious, and just disrespectful to Attorney King. And without pause, without hesitation, Attorney King, being the man he is, read on in testimony, submitted his evidence, and went round even with the judge, didn't agree with it. But it does seem like the judge is catering to all the other needs, allowing these attorneys to say, do what they want from the witness stand, act like they want in the courthouse, just whenever they want to. I've seen attorneys in this courtroom object to things that Attorney King was saying. Attorney King went right on. The judge sit there and don't say nothing. You can't rule on the objection. It has to be the judge. I've seen these attorneys here numerous times does that. Maybe that's how they do it.
So what you're saying is that they wouldn't let us in the courtroom, because if they would have let the news media in the courtroom, the people could see what you're talking about. They wouldn't have to take your word for it. They wouldn't have to take my word for it. They wouldn't have to take the pastor's word for it in Waycross or Larry O'Hara or the brother from Clayton who talked about he saw the judge sleeping in the courtroom. You've said it from day one. In fact, every case that the Honorable Judge Richard Porter has presided in, he's been asleep in the courtroom. And yet, because maybe, I'm not saying this is the case, but there's a great possibility that this may be why he don't want no cameras in the courtroom. there have been more high-profile cases than they had cameras in the courtroom. And so that might be why the news media, WSB came the other time. They wouldn't let them in the courtroom, so they ain't been back. So I didn't mean to take so long, but it just, I want people to understand that whatever you say here today could have been documented on the news media TV camera. They wouldn't let us in the courtroom. But I understand that you started trying to do something about that. What did you do about that?
Well, I filed a open records request because I did find out in the cameras inside the courtroom. I mean, it's about 3 to 4 cameras in every courtroom. And I found out these cameras are on. Thus, I filed an open records request to get a copy of each one of those hearings that's been involved with the Johnson family, and then you will see the truth for yourself. If those cameras are working on, and if they give me one. But if they don't give them to me, it's going to be a hell to pay, and they're going to have to answer to somebody why I ain't got them. But as I said, he was right. Judge Porter sleeping in the court. Now this makes me understand. If he did it in the Johnson case, who to say if a man is up for his life? I think the Judicial Qualification Commission, the state, the U.S. Attorney General, all of them need to come in and pull the records on this whole tape or wherever his judicial circuit at and see how many times during key testimony that this judge was up on the stand sleep. And I know if he did it here, he'd do it in every case that he's been involved in.
Jackie, the mother of KJ, she told me yesterday she didn't want to go on the camera, I guess, because of her attorney, and that's a good time. I'm not going to let her go against that. But she said that every time he go to sleep, she was trying to get him, and she was documenting the time, each time that he went to sleep. I got some of them recorded myself. But my thing is that today, it surprised me because he took a pretty long nap today. And that really got me. I mean, I just looked at that one with his mouth was open. His head was leaned back, but he was asleep, sure enough asleep. And so now, if we know about this, and if we don't say anything, then how in the world can we send our sons off to war and talk about freedom of the press and freedom of religion and the right to vote and all this kind of jazz? It seems like something is happening to our rights, but the people in America are either going to sleep at the wheel or done train wreck somewhere in space. Now, go back to your point about what you've seen in the courtroom that's not typical for to be done in a court of law.
Well, mainly the trial attorneys, the defense attorney, the 8 white attorneys has basically led this case, not the judge. The judge is supposed to be the overseer, the dictator of the courtroom. He the ruler of the courtroom, but he has sit back and allowed these attorneys to do, say what they want, act like they want, with attitudes, get smart, and just disrespect Attorney King and even the court itself.
Let me interrupt you right here. Today, Attorney Turner kept saying negative things about Shaveen King, and they've been doing it. But today it was like as if though King couldn't take it no more. And he didn't talk to the judge. He told Attorney Turner, here's what he said: I recommend that you cease now. He said cease. I guess you can define that for me. He said, I want you to cease from that, from referring to me and what I'm doing as a shenanigan. He said, I want you to stop. And so he said it with power. And I think the people in the courtroom could feel his pain. And he'd been very patient throughout. But it seemed like he just got tired of it. Then the judge responded and said to King, I expect both of you to be professionals. I'm quoting what he said. I got it documented. Both of y'all to be professional. Well, King have never done what they've done. I don't even see why he would make a statement like that, say both of you, when King never did that. But it threw him in the same box with everybody. And I'm gonna tell you, I wish to God that there would be a law in the state of Georgia that would force these judges to allow all high-profile court cases such as KJ case to be recorded and not banned from the general public.
And it's possible there may be a law, that's why they got courtroom cameras, but we, as most people and black folks, I made to say it, is uneducated and informed that we can look and see they got cameras all over the courtroom. Anything that's on these cameras inside and out, you have a right to get a copy to, because that's public record.
Well, it seemed like it should be, but they're changing laws every day now. They are taking away our rights. Look at me. I'm still going to say it. 3 months, 3 years and 4 months under a criminal trespass for not violating the law, and not one United States. That's why I'm going to the United Nations. Nobody in the United States will even address my issue. And I don't know whether you know it or not, that you read in the paper the other day, wherein somebody said it already in the United Nations. Great Britain talked about it, that how they're killing blacks here in this country, and the United Nations done weighed out in it. So I'm going to the United Nations with my situation.
Well, that's what informed. I don't know if you heard me about maybe a month ago, that we are in the process of compiling a complaint to the United Nations to charge the United States government for murder charges against blacks, brutality, assassination, and basically attacking the immigrations and naturalization laws. Because when it comes to those laws, we have been uneducated through black, and I'll just explain one. There's nowhere in the Constitution that said black folks are citizens. Nowhere in the Constitution. What it says is the 14th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment was never properly rectified by Congress. Thus, the 14th Amendment does not say we are citizens, it says we are aliens of African descent.
Well, explain one more level to me, my beautiful brother. Brother, you get criticized sometimes, just like me. But did not this country get where it is today because of freedom fighters, including white right people? I met a white guy last night. I ain't gonna tell you where he was. Let me say this. Did you know the white guy said last night? He said he was from Washington, D.C. And he said, you George Boss? I said, yeah. He said, I've been watching your video. I probably don't watch every one that you put up. And he told me, just like the white guy that told me over there in front of Georgia military about 2 years ago. He's a young man, gave me a big contribution. So you keep doing what you're doing, because if we don't stand up in this country, we are going to lose all our rights. So I made a friend last night, and I'm hoping that this friend, he from Washington, D.C., he now lives somewhere in this area. I ain't gonna tell you who he is, because he just, I call him a good white right person. And people don't understand. A lot of professors at BSU, I used to go to potluck with them. They like me for what I'm doing. A lot of white people across the nation love what I'm doing. And yet they gonna try to make all white folks dislike me because I'm standing up like you stand up, and like others, include some of the pastors, not all of them, but they are standing up for the best of our democracy. And I served 21 years. And it's not about black and white, but it's more about right and wrong.
That's right.
On you.
And forget about not just the white folks, the white right folks, the right wrong folks.
Yes, sir.
Right. The black right, wrong and right folks.
That's true.
We got them. We call them bootlickers, Uncle Tom, Chicken George, Thomasina's, and Toms, Uncle Toms.
I want you to drop this on the people. Now, we know that over in Douglas, Olivia Coley Pearson, they're trying to drive her out of office. That's all it's about. They tried to get her for voting fraud. We now got the Douglas Ford. But what I want you to talk about, don't say no, don't expose what has happened. But is there not a group of people now that have gotten together? They're going from county to county, from area to area, to connect the dots. And even to the point of the district attorneys who's sitting back and watching all this go on and doing nothing about it. Is there not people now coming together to try to get this to a larger scale, because local entities, including the state of Georgia, seem not to give a damn?
Yes, there's a group, and they're going around and have a meeting, another meeting. This is going to be.
Don't tell them too much. Don't tell them.
I'm going to tell you too much, but it's coming in Waycross. But there is a group that's going around. You can contact George or myself. Just go on Facebook. I'm pretty sure if y'all watch me, if you're interested in getting involved or getting in with this group to attack these people. I'm like this. I'm going to say it. I have said it many times. My knowledge and my understanding of the law, that's what I'm going to use. That's what I'm going to push, and that's what I'm going to go after. If I'm going to sue, because that's the only thing that people understand.
This is the Get to Free Press, and we report what others ignore. This is your First Amendment right to know without whiteouts from a controlled news media whiteout network. And we are located in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are here to Inform, educate, and persuade if necessary. Always keep that in mind. Moreover, I want to say to you that as a community, state, nation, and world, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if we are a liar, time will tell. And if we are a racist or a hater, time will tell. And our righteous and holy God already know. So you are only fooling yourselves. Again, the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Foster Rice.